Hello everybody, welcome to Fit Mom Homestead Kitchen. Today I was inspired last night with dinner time, and my son had asked if we could have broccoli with dinner tonight. I made a baked chicken last night, and so what I'm doing for you today is a chicken broccoli bake, and I'm just repurposing some of the chicken that I baked last night and shredding it. So I've already done that. And then some of the other ingredients I'll show you. I love this stuff. This is called Imagine, and this is portobello mushroom soup. But the thing that is amazing about this is it's vegan, it's gluten-free, non-GMO, dairy-free. So this is great to cook into things. Like I said, I'm making a quick dinner. So this is something you could easily throw together really fast and simple. And then another treat I like is this rice seasoning sauce. So again, this one is gluten-free and it just has a few different ingredients in it. And my inspiration here is to just kind of like make a little bit of like a chicken ranch bake casserole. And then I've got my dill here. And I'm going to use some coconut milk to cream this up so that it's dairy-free. And then, of course, a little salt and pepper. So, and then the three other main ingredients are your butternut, your spaghetti squash, and your broccoli. So I've already shredded what leftover chicken I have. And then in my Instant Pot, I pressurized my spaghetti squash for 10 minutes. Then I just let it cool, and then it's super easy to just get the seeds and then go ahead and just scrape it off of the skin. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna scrape this off of the skin really quick, get it in here with the chicken. And if you didn't have the ability to put it in an Instant Pot, because I know some of you don't own Instant Pots like me, I have two now, then you would just slice it open, put it on a baking pan, and bake it at 350 for about 40 minutes or so. And then you would just do the same thing as me, take it and scrape it out of the skin and add it to your chicken here. Like so. And then it's easy, mess-free, pretty much no waste, because when you pre-cook it a little bit like this, I mean, everything comes off of this skin, so you're not wasting anything. We don't want the stem. All right, so I've got that in here like that, a couple pieces overboard here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and evenly spread this out. I've got my chicken on the bottom. It doesn't really matter what order you kind of do this in. I just had the chicken already shredded, so I'm just gonna spread this out as evenly as I possibly can. Like that. Perfect. Easy peasy. So it's all spread on there. Pretty much every corner's got a little something. And it'll cook out a little bit as it cooks in the oven. Okay, so that part's done. And then what I did here is I pre-steamed my broccoli. So again, if you don't have an Instant Pot, maybe steam it for 5 or so minutes, just so that it's nice and it's somewhat tender, so you can crumble it on here like I'm doing. My kids love broccoli, so I've got 2 heads of broccoli here, and I'm doing that. And again, I'm just gonna put some good sized chunks because it's gonna cook down too as well. So I'm just gonna crumble this all on. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So, get back over here. In my Instant Pot, I only put this in for 1 minute on the steam mode. So if you have an Instant Pot, don't overcook your broccoli and then instantly release it and give it a cold bath either way. If you're steaming it on the stove or in the Instant Pot, you want to instantly give it a quick bath so that it stops cooking in some cool water. That way, when it does cook up in the oven with everything and you rewarm it, you're not overcooking it into mush, which, I mean, at the end of the day, that's not that big a deal, but you know, you don't want it to be super mushy. So And I'm picky, I don't like the huge stems. I'll put that in soups and stocks later, so it's not gonna go to waste. I just don't want it in this because the texture is too much. So I think 2 heads of broccoli was more than enough, but my kids do love broccoli. So this is another great way to hide some vegetables or find ways to get your kids to enjoy vegetables too. So trying to find casseroles where you can put vegetables with other flavors so that they'll like them more. My kids are pretty good with veggies, but it's still nice to find creative ways to get vegetables in the diet. If your kids don't really like spaghetti squash, then you could do some rice in here and do half the spaghetti squash, or do some noodles in here and do half of the spaghetti squash. Again, if they don't like broccoli, use cauliflower, whatever, mushrooms. So next what I'm gonna do is I've got my bowl here, and I'm gonna go ahead and figure out how much liquid I want to pour over this. So I'm probably not gonna use everything that I've got in here. If you haven't noticed, I'm making a mess, A, and B, I'm not big on measuring things. I'm big in eyeballing them. So I've got this Frontera garlic rice seasoning sauce, and I'm just gonna pour probably about half of it in. And then I'm gonna pour a pretty equal amount of this mushroom soup, and then the rest of it's gonna be soup that we're gonna have for dinner. So this is gonna be a great added bonus. So probably about a cup of each of those. And then I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of dill in so that it's kind of like a ranch dressing. Okay, so about a teaspoon of dill in there. And then get a little bit of salt. Because a lot of this I didn't salt any of my vegetables yet. The only thing that might have a little bit of flavor is the chicken, and even still my chicken is mostly white meat, so it's going to be very bland. And then I've got my full fat coconut milk here to cream this up just a little bit more, okay? So I'm just going to pop this puppy open, get a little bit of this. Yeah, it's got some of this nice cream on top. Get some of that out of there, because you don't want to miss that. That's what's going to give it that thick, creamy texture. Definitely want some of that. And then I'm just going to pour a little bit of that in there. There we go. And then I'm just going to mix this up. See where my flavors are as far as what I want. Oh, that tastes really good. Oh wow, that garlic seasoning is really good. Very yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. And then I'm just gonna mash up these chunks, my chunks of coconut cream here just a little bit. They'll cook in okay. I just don't want huge chunks all over. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm gonna pour that over nice and evenly and see if I feel like that's gonna be enough moisture. So. I think it'll be close. I think I could do a little bit more. Okay. I don't want it to get too moist because the spaghetti squash is definitely gonna cook up a little more. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give myself just a wee bit more of this and a wee bit more of the mushroom, and I think we've got it going. There we go. Mix those together. Give it one more pour over around the edges, because that's where I felt like I was missing it. Awesome. Now I'm just gonna give it a little shaky so that this kind of settles down to the bottom, because we still have one more step. So I've got my spatula here. I'm just kind of gonna get this all mushed together a little bit so that it is kind of like a casserole now. And then my last step is you need something that's going to hold this all together. And because I'm shooting for dairy-free today, I'm not doing any cheese. So I'm gonna grab a few eggs. Now, if you have somebody with an egg allergy, then you could just, an egg white allergy, you could omit the egg whites and just add a couple extra egg yolks. But my eggs are definitely my glue for this, okay? So I'm gonna be using 4 eggs. are my beautiful chickens in my backyard. That's why they're just in the cabinet there. So I'm just gonna throw 4 of these bad boys in my mixing bowl here. Cracking them in. Perfect. Okay. All right. Boom. And then we're just gonna quickly give these a little whip. Nice. Okay, so we've got those all whipped up nicely. And then I'm just gonna pour this over the top. What's gonna be funny though is this will look like cheese on the top to some people. And you could easily add cheese if you wanted to. So this is ready to go in the oven. I've got my oven preheated at 350. And I'm gonna let this bake for about 30 minutes is all about 40 minutes is all it's gonna take, because everything that's in here is already cooked. We're just bringing all those flavors together and letting it set up. So it should take about 30 to 40 minutes, and we'll get a good look at it when it comes out of the oven here shortly. Hey everyone, so I'm back. And here is our finished product, our yummy, delicious food. So it ended up baking for about 34 minutes at 350, and then I cranked it on to broil really quick just for a couple minutes, just so that I could get a little bit more of a brown crust that you see here. So you can still see the steam is coming off, so I just took it out a minute ago. And I've got my soup here on the side, and then something I thought would be good is maybe just top it with a little bit of salsa for you, maybe not kids. And then I've got a little bit of green chives here, and then you've got your plate done and ready to go. So let's give this a taste. And I'm here to tell you it's piping hot, so I'm gonna try not to burn my mouth here. Okay, that's really good. If we had smell-o-vision, you could smell my house. It smells divine right now, full of garlic. So not only is this a really easy to do dinner, because I bought a lot of cheating ingredients because I wanted something quick. I've been home for the last 2 days with sick kids. We ran into the grocery store really quick, got a couple things to reinvent this dinner for tonight. And so that's why I'm kind of sharing it with you. But you could, again, I used the rest of that garlic pouch and the mushroom, and this is a great side dish with this. And you've got a complete meal here. You could easily serve this for a dinner party, and people will walk into the house and they will smell this cooking in your oven and they will just love it. So I hope you guys really enjoy it. Give it a try. Let me know what you think, and keep checking in here at fitmomhomestead.com and enjoying all my posts, and let me know if there's anything you'd like. Hope you guys are doing well. Smile, be happy, be healthy, and I'm gonna enjoy this. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.